Okay, so good evening, everyone. Because data safety solutions are not a very small thing, it takes huge hard work or time to understand everything. So today it's a day one training where my major focus will be on the storage piece. So myself, Chanchal Deswal, and I'm director in two companies, KCIS Info Solutions Private Limited, which is distributor for multiple products, and I am also director of 3Gen Data Systems Private Limited, which is actually a manufacturing company into the HCI and storage space. Just एक बार confirmation चाहूंगा कि आप लोग screen देख पा रहे हैं मेरी?
बिल्कुल देख पा रहे हैं।
Okay. So आज का एजेंडा है, बहुत ही बेसिक सा एजेंडा रखा है मैंने, स्टोरेज पर्सपेक्टिव से एजेंडा रखा है. व्हाट आर द की प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर डेटा सेफ्टी, आई विल कवर दैट. Then I'll switch to completely on storage perspective. So key questions to understand the customer need, performance versus capacity storage, then controller versus scale out storage, then storage versus software defined storage. And this is I'm not covering today online versus offline. Earlier I was planning, but today I will not cover that part. So before that, what is actually data safety for an organization? So for an organization in layman, I have tried to write in a layman that it involves copy and replication of the data to multiple locations. So what we are doing, हम लोग क्या करते हैं, जो हमारा critical data है उसकी copies लेते हैं बैकअप सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू, रेप्लिकेशन सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू, और अदर मींस लोग जो है वो मैनुअली भी लेते हैं. सो बट पर्पस एक ही होता है, टू कीप द कॉपीज ऑफ द क्रिटिकल डेटा एट मल्टीपल लोकेशंस. सो डेटा सेफ्टी की बात करते हैं तो कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर टूल्स भी यूज करते हैं लोग, एनक्रिप्ट करते हैं डेटा को, फिर रैंसमवेयर प्रोटेक्शन करते हैं. बट मेजर जो मेन लेमन रिक्वायरमेंट है, टू कीप द डेटा एट मल्टीपल लोकेशंस इन सेफली. सो एक्चुअली इट इज ए प्रोसेस, it's a regular process, because it's not a day one day activity, it's a regular process. Every day you have to keep the data safe, every day new data is generating, so that's why we are calling it a process. So it's a process of gathering specific needs and discovering why of the customer and matching the appropriate product and service with those needs and communicating the benefits along with the TCO. So this is the actual organization perspective and our perspective to understand the storage requirement and giving the data safety solutions. So what are the key components? There is a huge list for the solutions which can be given to the customers, but I feel these are the major things, basic things which is required to any organization. One is the storage media, whether it's a NAS, SAN or DAS. NAS is a network attached storage, SAN is a storage area network, and DAS is a direct attached storage. So these are the basic requirements. Then on top of that, they need a backup software or archiving software or DR or replication software to capture the data. Then sometimes they need the volume replication software also, which is for the media to media, for example, storage box to storage box replication kind of things. Then the offline media is required, like LTOs, autoloaders. Then optical media, like Sony, they are giving 100 years of warranty of the data. So those things are there. Then there is a ransomware protection and the encryption software, which is required nowadays. And last but not the least, the cloud storage. So these are the basic components while we are giving a solution to any customer. So for example, one customer is coming to me and asking, we want to keep our data safe. So I'm not only quoting the storage, we are also quoting the backup software, we are also quoting the LTOs, and if not LTO, then optical media, and we are also talking about the ransomware protection, encryption, and we are also asking customer whether they need the third copy at the cloud. So these are the key components which every organization needs. So now, what are the key questions to understand the customer need? So this is the most important thing, because we have to understand the requirement of the customer. So we have to understand what all actually questions we need to ask. So what are the questions? Basic 4-5 things are connectivity, because we always decide the performance is bandwidth is one of the criteria why we are asking the connectivity, whether they need a 1 gig ports, whether they need 10 gig copper, 10 gig fiber, 25 gig copper, 25 gig fiber, 8 gig or 16 gig fiber, or today we are giving 100 gig copper as well as fiber. So the connectivity is required, because there are other factors are also, because if you are quoting 10 gig fiber, so whether customer is having the 10 gig fiber switch or not. So this question is always important while you are proposing some solution to the customer. If they are not having the switch is also the part of your solution. So you are giving a storage box, but switch will be the bundle of that particular solution. If the connectivity requirement was 10 gig fiber and customer is not having that switch in their premise. So that's why connectivity is one of the question. Then we are always asking the applications, what all applications they will use, or if customer is intelligent enough, or they can give you the calculation of IOPS, input output per second. That is the best thing if they can provide. Then we can do the calculation of storage according to this. So this is also important question, because if you are not knowing what all applications they are using and what all LUNs they will mount, then you cannot give the right solution to the customer. Then the database. Database is also a important criteria, because MS SQL, MySQL, MongoDB, Oracle Enterprise, every database has a different performance requirement. So some are configured at 4K, some are block size, or some are at 8K, and normally databases are or at the RAID 10, while the other things are at RAID 5 and other RAID 6, but databases are on always on 10. So that's why always ask whether some database is there, and if they will mount the storage for the database also. And the uses, whether they want to keep the backup data, they are looking just archiving, they want to stream some videos, they want to do the broadcasting, they want to have the actually LUN mounting. So what the actual expectation of the customer, or what uses they will do for the storage. So this is also an main thing actually. Then comes the budget, because there are different kind of storage boxes. So if a customer is having only 5 lakh budget, then obviously entry level storage will go. If customer is having a 50 lakh budget, obviously a better storage box will go. So but budget is also important question you should ask while you are designing a storage solution. But these are not only the questions which actually required to be asked. There are lots of other things, and before that you should know all the storage features, then only you can ask the question. So let's cover what all storage features today available in the storage boxes. So basic features are always that it's a unified storage, means today's storage are supporting NAS also, iSCSI SAN also, FC SAN also, FCOE also. They are supporting the SATA, SAS, SSD, all three kind of drives. They are supporting the storage gateway. Storage gateway is a technology where you can use a gateway and you can access the multiple brand storage boxes. So if you know these things, then only you can ask whether customer need these things or not. Then today, the fault tolerant solutions are coming in the storage, while where entire node failing, still the data will remain same. So you have to ask whether they are looking for clustering, scale out, multi-node. There are different terms you can ask. Then there is a requirement of keeping the data in multiple sites. Then you have to ask whether they need the replication, synchronous replication, asynchronous. These are synchronous means within the LAN, asynchronous means on the WAN. Then how many nodes they will scale in the future. Then you have to ask the performance questions, what kind of caching they are looking for, amount of caching, whether they need the performance caching or the normal caching. Then does they need the all drives as a flash drive, or are they planning the tiering of the boxes, means three kind of drives, SSD, then SATA, SAS, different kind of drives they want, and they want to do the auto tiering. So this is also a need nowadays. Then there is a questions related to storage virtualization. I will cover in my next slide what is the difference between a normal storage and the vSAN, or we call it a software defined storage. So you have to ask whether they want to have the new kind of storage things in the solution. Then we have to ask the remote data replication, whether they want file based, block based, what is the file size, whether these are the images, videos, or normal text files. So these kind of questions you can only ask if you know what all features storage boxes are giving nowadays. There is snapshot and cloning available. For example, you have captured some data on a storage box. you can keep the another copy of the storage data on the same storage box. We call it snapshot. So there is a feature where you can keep the unlimited snapshots on a storage box. Then you can have a cloning. These kind of features are today available in the storage boxes. Then there is a dynamic thin provisioning. Why this is important? Because many a time you will find that customer has the 500,000 users, and management is asking that give this much of amount of storage to every user. But while if you will buy the 1,000 terabyte on a day one, utilization will not be 1,000 terabyte, and the costing will go. You will spend huge money, but the utilization will not be there. So if you will start low, say 200 or 100 terabyte, but you can provision 1,000 terabyte to your users, they will see 1,000 terabyte, but actually you will buy 100 terabyte only. So this is the main thing today in demand. Then there is a deduplication. There are two kind of deduplication: file based and block based. The costing is different, so you should understand what is the file based deduplication or block based deduplication actually. Then there are other features today coming. vServer means your storage integration with different hypervisors. Then ransomware protection, encryption, auto tiering I have already covered. Then compression. So this is the something we will share the slide also in the group after this training. So these all are the features available today in the storage boxes. So if you know all the features, then only you can propose the right solution. Any question here?
चंचल जी, अभी इसमें जो ये बताइए, that was, are we talking also in general or we are talking also in relation to KCS solution only?
Right now we are talking in general, all the features storage boxes have. I have not written any brand here because I have captured all kind of features and captured in a single slide. Because what all storage boxes, whether it's a EMC, DDN, Infotrend, Thecus, QNAP, so these are the all kind of features available in the market right now. So that's why I've captured everything in a single slide. Okay.
Okay.
So can I move ahead then?
Yeah, sure.
So now let's jump into the more deep questions like performance versus capacity storage, because majorly you will find cases where customer will ask you the performance also and the capacity also. If customer is having a only requirement of archiving, only archiving, then all drives will be SATA. That is a very basic storage architecture where entry level storage boxes are there. All the drives are SATA drives. So there is no intelligence required from your side as a salesperson or a solution architect. You just put 8-way or 12-way SATA drives and you will give solution to the customer. But while there is a performance and capacity both required by the customer, then intelligence is required. Then you have to understand what is NVMe based caching, what is the SSD based caching, what is the auto tiering. Actually, both performance and capacity goes hands in hand. You have to understand how to utilize both things and give the right solution. Because if you will increase the caching, the cost will be higher side, then your solution will not go. The competitor will take the order. If you will keep the capacity higher, caching low, then the performance will not be there. Customer will always crib that your box is not good, those things. So you have to understand exactly how much caching is required for that customer, what is the data, those things need to study. So we have a questionnaire to capture related to the capacity and performance requirement. While we are talking to the customer, we are sharing this form and we are taking the details. So let's discuss in detail what these things are actually. So performance caching and SSD caching. While we are calling performance caching, it means we are using NVMe's as a caching. NVMe's are the costly, like we have Intel Optane NVMe, we have Samsung Pro NVMe's, or we have the Micron 9300 Pro NVMe's. These are the costly NVMe's, but the performance is very high. They are giving 5.5 million IOPS per drive. So that is called performance caching. SSD caching is we are using SAS SSDs for the caching, These are the economical drives, but the performance is almost 1/10 in comparison to performance caching. So if customer is not having the budget, still they want the performance, then you have to choose the SSD caching. But if the customer have the budget, then you have to go for the performance caching. And you have to understand one more thing. While we are giving RAID card based caching, we have a limitation. Whatever the caching RAID card can give, that is the maximum caching you can give to your customer. But while you are giving a software RAID, where you can have the NVMe or SSD as a caching, there is no limitation. You can give 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, 500 terabyte, or 1000 terabyte as a caching also, as per the customer need. For example, Netflix, they are regularly streaming huge files, so their caching requirement is much higher than a normal customer. So performance caching is the need of Netflix, G5, other different streaming media companies. Any question on performance caching and SSD caching? Okay, let's move to intelligent based auto tiering. So while you have to save money, actually, then you have to always keep the multiple tiers. For example, you will keep 10 to 15% SSDs, and then you will keep 85% SATA. Because earlier there was 3-tier architecture normally people were following, SAS, SATA SSDs, and SATA drives, or SSD maybe SAS SSDs. While you are using SAS SSD or SATA SSD, you can still go for the 3 tiers. But if you are using first tier as a NVMe tier, which is very fast, then you can remove the SAS tier from the auto tiering. You can have only 2 tiers, SATA and NVMe, and you can define 2 tiers also. So what is the benefit? Whenever any data is coming, the first write will always happen on the SSD drive. Whenever customer user is reading any data, that also happening from the SSD. When the data is not hot, it's a cold, say for 15 days data is not in use, the software is intelligent enough to move that data to SATA drive. So if there are 3 drives, so movement can be this way. In 15 days it will move to SAS drives. After 15 days it will move to SATA drives. So whatever configurations you want, it's up to you. Dashboard is intelligent enough to allow you to configure as per your choice. 15 days, 10 days, or the 30 days, as per your requirement you can define, and you can auto tier your storage. So this is required to save the money, actually, to give the right solution, value for money solution to the customer, because government has the huge money, so they can buy all flash storage also. But enterprises, they are thinking about the money also, performance also. So this is the right solution, because you can achieve whatever performance they want, and rest drives you can use the SATA drives for the warm or the cold tier. So this is the way you can save money. So while we are talking about performance, so we have used 2 methods actually. First method was the performance caching and SSD caching, and the second method is auto tiering. So these are the two which actually combined in a single solution. So these are the two technology we are using. Now, while you will go in the market, there is always ask for dual controller. They are asking whether you are giving a dual controller solution or not. So you should understand what is the controllers and what is the scale out storage. So this is most important thing. So while we are calling dual controller, actually we are giving redundancy of the NICs, which is the our connectivity ports, and the RAID caching, RAID and RAID caching. So these are the redundant things. But the motherboard, which is the base of the server, that is not redundant. Even the hard disk, they are not redundant, because they are just having the RAID 1056, whatever RAID you are keeping. So in this third year, while the drive failure rate is much higher, and if more than 3 drives will fail, your controller cannot help, because redundancy of controller cannot help if drives are failing. So that's why dual controller solution is not the enterprise class solution. This is a solution for giving to the small customers and mid-sized customers who do not have the money for multi-node or HA. So that is the solution for those customers. But for enterprises, the scale out or the HA kind of solution are the best solution, because in case of HA, both different. We are giving two separate servers, and these servers are behaving as a controller. And in this case, the entire server, all the components are in the redundancy, whether it's a motherboard, OS drives, your anything else which is available on the server, everything are redundant. So if one or two in a multi-node architecture, even one, two more controllers are failing, still your data is safe. We are calling node also these. So while any multiple nodes are failing, still your data is safe. Even if some drives are failing, one or two, and if you are having RAID 5 or 6 or Hotspare, then the node failure will not happen. Only the data, because the redundancy of the drive level is already there in a node. So only drive is failing, the node will remain active. But if the entire node is failing, still your data is safe in the HA architecture. So whenever customer is asking dual controller, you have to understand whether it's an enterprise class customer or it's a small, less budget customer. Then accordingly take decision. For SMB or mid size customer, take the dual controller solution. For the enterprise or the big enterprises, give the HA kind of solution. Any query here? Because this is most important thing, and majorly all cases today coming from whether it's government, whether it's enterprises, they are confused whether they want to go for dual controller or HA kind of solution. So you have to help them with the right answers. Any questions here?
नहीं अभी तो नहीं.
Ji sir. So let's understand the HA a little bit more, because while we are doing the clustering of two nodes, we call it HA or active nodes. So what we are doing the mirroring of data in more than one location, and we are protecting the hardware, entire hardware failure. So while we are in a LAN, we are doing the synchronous data mirroring, and this kind of cluster can go up to different vendors have different actually nodes. For example, HP is giving 64 nodes. We are giving solution with 256 nodes also. Maybe some vendor are there which are giving more than this. EMC is giving 232, I think. So there is a different number of nodes which are possible in a single cluster in storage. So what are the benefits? It's very flexible to scale. You can start with one node. You can add whenever required. You can add more nodes, and this is automatically added. There are two kind of ways of adding the while we are adding node, there are two ways. One is if it's a OS based RAID, software RAID, then it will not ask for the boot. But if it's a hardware RAID card based RAID you have configured, then there is a boot requirement. So it's always, while you have to fight with somebody who is using the hardware RAID card, because EMC or NetApp, they are not using hardware RAID while you're doing the scale out. But companies like AMI or the Infotrend, they are using the hardware RAID. So then you can tell your customer that in a data center or enterprise class solution, they cannot afford the boot of the entire storage. So that's why they cannot go those kind of solutions. They have to go for Dell EMC or NetApp or 3Zen or the solutions we are providing. So what is scale out? We have heard that we can go horizontal scale out, but this actually picture I kept purposefully so that I can explain this, that there is a multiple horizontal scale outs also possible. How we are doing? So this is the first layer. I have kept two storage boxes, and I kept the I did the clustering, and I'm using these two as a controller. So the benefit of this is if you have to protect the entire data from ransomware, and you will create this two nodes as a gateway, then you have to buy the license for two nodes only for the ransomware protection. But if you will keep the entire single horizontal scale out, then you have to buy the ransomware protection license for each node, because that is a node based license, and the solution will become the very costly solution. So what we are doing, you can have, if customer is not asking the worm or the ransomware protection, you can have a single layer of all horizontal. You just add in a single cluster. But if you want to give the higher solution, high-end solution with the ransomware protection, always use such architecture where use the two node as a gateway, and then you can have a scale out expansion in the lower side to any number, 256 number also. Even we are allowing to use the JBoards also in each primary node, and you can have a vertical expansion also. So these kind of solutions are available in the market with everyone, whether it's Infotrend, 3Zen, Dell, or WD, any brand you will go, they are having JBoards also, or you can have all the primary units. So it's true for all the vendors. Only thing is the price is the different for different vendors. For example, EMCs are charging 25 lakh rupees for the scale out kind of solution software separately, while they are giving the ransomware protection. So that makes them very costly. So because they are giving starting with 4-node solution, in the 4-node solution they are keeping 25 lakh separately for software. So that's why they are costly. But few companies are not charging that much. For example, Infotrend or 3Zen, they are charging maybe 10 lakh or 12 lakh only. So they are, that's why economical. So there are different vendors, but solution is available with everyone. And while we are giving such solution, we can support all the required protocols, whether the NAS, SAN, anything you want, that is possible in this. So now the new era, because hyperconvergence have changed the market completely nowadays. Earlier, what we were doing, we are buying storage layer, then we are buying network layer, then we are buying the storage layer. Now the things have changed. Now software defined storage have come into the picture, and now because of software defined storage, the things have changed. Now what we are doing, we are keeping the storage part also in a single server. So what we are doing, we are buying a server which is now not a normal server, which is a storage server. So what we are doing, we are installing a hypervisor on this storage. So we are using this storage as this box as a storage, as well as for the server for the applications. So we can have any hypervisor, for example, vServer, Hyper-V, or the VMware, and we can provision, we can have all the multiple OS on that, any Windows OS, any Linux OS on top of that particular server. Same time, we can have a unified storage gateway or vSAN, LUN mounting for different applications on the single server itself. So the earlier SAN and the new vSAN, there is a huge difference in the performance, because in layman, I can say, if somebody is just near to me, and if I'm asking something from that person, he or she can give me that particular thing in just few seconds. But if somebody is in the other office and I'll call him that I need this thing, so they will take time to bring that particular thing to me. So that is the difference between a external SAN or a vSAN. In the vSAN, we are using the internal fabric, which is 12 GB per second, and we are keeping the drives internal. So the performance of the storage is 12 GB per second, because we are using the internal fabric. While in case of the external SAN, we are using the LAN network, which is very slow. Even if I am using the 4x16 gig fiber, then also my performance is reaching only 3 GB per second. So which is the maximum storage people are spending maximum on 4x16 gig controllers, not more than that till now. Now people have started using 4x25 also, but the external storage will cost you more, because you need a sandbox, then you need a SAN controller in the server, then you need the actually your storage box, which is also having these ports separately, and the path is not giving the performance. That LAN is not giving that performance which is required for the applications. Maximum 3 GB is available right now through the external storage boxes. So what is the solution? Solution is virtual SAN, or the software defined storage, which is coming within the storage server, which is for the application. So that is the revolution in the market. Nutanix, VMware giving vSAN, and the different companies are there. 3Zen is giving vServer. So these are the new solutions available in the market nowadays. So there is a huge gap now. People are reducing the SAN purchases and going to the HCI kind of solutions. Today also we got one case from one of the partner. He asked for storage box. While we have told them that if storage box is costing you 15 lakh, in the 15 lakh same you can buy the HCI node, and you can even install your application, so no need to buy the server separately. So immediately they switch to the HCI solution. So now what is the actually HCI solution, or this vSAN kind of architecture? What we are doing, in a single server, we are creating the hypervisor, we are creating applications, and we are giving the storage box. So this kind of architecture is very famous now. Nutanix is the revolutionary, or you can say father of HCI. Although VMware was from long time, but Nutanix is the company who promoted a lot and bring this solution to a reality. Now VMware also gear up, and now they have the market share which is better than the Nutanix. But Nutanix have started this in the market, and they have captured very big clients like ICICI is with them, SBI is with them, lots of big banks and other enterprises are with them. So this is the right solution nowadays. If somebody is asking a full solution, always go for the software defined storage or HCI kind of solution to them. So now today I'll cover in place of online, I'm covering the worm and blockchain technology. Why this is required actually? Because ransomware attacks are happening, and on a normal storage box, entire data will get encrypted, and the ransom will be asked by the hackers. And as a solution partner or as a solution architect, it's your responsibility to guide your customer about the ransomware attacks and tell them what is the right solution for them. So worm is actually write once, read many. And while we are giving the worm solution, we are always doing this scale out NAS. We cannot give the pure SAN worm with the pure SAN. So it's always give the goes with the scale out NAS. So always remember, while you are giving encryption or worm, always remember it's always preferable to code the scale out NAS. So what we are doing, if anything is written on the storage box, we are always giving a separate meta address. So if anything, say my primary data is encrypted by a ransomware, and this data is going to the storage box, and if the meta address is changed, it will be written on a new place. It will not rewrite. And the worm is doing actually in a other way. It's not even allowing the same data to be written on the same rewrite. It's always saying once, write once and read many. So whether it's a ransomware or any other attack, anything is happening, your old data will not be touched. That will remain safe. And this is the right solution. Now every smart city project is asking the ransomware protection. So worm is going. Only 3 companies have the worm solution right now: NetApp, 3Zen, and EMC. So these are the 3 companies which are giving worm right now. So this is more in detail. We can go in detail in the next session. So worm is actually based on the blockchain technology, where we are actually, if any meta address is changing, we are not keeping that data, rewriting the data. We are keeping that data safe, and that way we are safeguarding the data from ransomware. Now I'll share 3 different kind of solutions now. One is while customer is big and they are having multiple brand storage boxes, so you can always propose the storage gateway. So storage gateway will give you a pass through. So whether it's a EMC, NetApp, or DDN, any kind of storage boxes, you can access those storage boxes through a gateway. For example, 3Gen is also having gateway, Hitachi is also having gateway. So you can utilize the gateway to access the multiple branch storage boxes. So this is required in the data centers, because many data centers are coming and they want this kind of solution. Then you will find TV station cases or the playout station cases in the market where the solution is required. So we are having expertise. We can propose the entire solution, how to propose the solution. Because this is a mix of solutions where you need some NAS part, some SAN part, some JBoards. So we can give you the right solution, and we can give you complete solution from a single vendor. So you can come to us. We have already done like Bangladesh TV. We have given solution to this GTV also, and we have given to that. I'm forgetting one more TV station we have done. Doordarshan is also one of the customer we have given solution. Then video surveillance is also one of the big cases in the market nowadays, because while we are talking about the storage, so these are the big customers for everyone, because video surveillance clients are capturing huge data on daily basis. So what kind of storage you have to give? Always remember, you have to give some kind of performance also, and then JBoards and the capacity, huge capacity. So JBoard is the right solution, but always keep a primary unit on top of a JBoard with a performance solution. Even you can have our vServer also, so that you can install your NVR or CMS or VMS software on top of our storage only, so that there is no separate server required. And this is very economical solution while you are going with us. So you can have even Milestone have certified us for the solution, for video surveillance solution, and even Bosch have tested our solution, and they are now proposing to one of their big customer, where now they do not need the separate servers, because our storage is capable enough to install the VMS or NVR or CMS software, so no need to buy the another server. So these are the solutions. If you have more, if you have any queries, you can ask me, or you can send us mail also for the queries, because for today I'm covering this much. In the group we will share the next day schedule, which maybe we can keep next week. We will talk about the backup softwares, archiving softwares, volume replication software, or the LTOs and autoloaders things in the next session. So any queries here?
Chanchal ji, in fact, so it was a wonderful presentation, but yeah, since also I'm just also novice, I'm just also new to this field, so I think also I just need to work a lot and learn a lot from you. इसके लिए हम एक बार बैठेंगे जरूर और but yes, so it was just a very good beginning also for me as well.
Sure, sir, sure. We are always with you, sir. Anyone need any kind of solution, I am always there. I have expertise of 20 years now in storage. I have sold even single order of 84 U-Rack storage also sold by me, Hitachi. So I have experience in all kind of storage boxes, whether it's all flash, hybrid, auto tier, and any kind of solution you need. I'm always there to size the solution. And but we thought let's guide also to everyone, so that they can understand the requirement in a right way. That's why we kept this session. So anyone else has the any query? जटवानी जी देखो 9 बजे से पहले फ्री कर दिया है आपको. I know actually 40 to 45 minutes ही एक सेशन में लोग सुन सकते हैं. I think there is a message.
Right. Thank you sir, thank you very much. और फिर मैं जल्दी मिलता हूँ फिर आपसे. Yeah, thanks everyone. So you can post your queries in the group also, and thanks for coming and joining this session. Thanks everyone. Thank you sir, thank you and good night. Good night.
Yeah, good night everyone.
Thank you, sir.